please come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the record so that the clerk can keep our records. Thank you. Mr. Thilly, I started your time.
How was everyone's weekend? Good. Anyone go anywhere fun? I got back. I went to Mexico, but not. I just went to visit some family in Monterrey. There's no beach there, so but it's a beautiful town. There's a lot of history, and it's like really nice.
Yeah, that crowd work needs some improvement.
And anyone here afraid of flying? Anyone? Mm-hmm. I'm. Well, I guess did you know I can do the backspin? Anybody? You want to see me do the backspin? No? You want to do you know like the backspin? I'm going to do the backspin. Can I do it up here? I'm going to do the backspin. Watch this.
He did backspin. I'll give him credit.
Well, why did our taxes go up so much? We were told the referendum was going to bring it up for an average household about $400, I think. And mine went up like $900. And I think we were told like that was from the schools or something. But the school referendum said it would only go up, like I said, $400 on an average assessed home. So, wanted to know why it went up, if it did, much more than that. And, what extra expenses were incurred by the schools that weren't told to the public when we voted on that referendum.
I mean, I think he's good enough to make the Australian team.
Thank you, Mr. Thilly.
Everybody please stand. The flag's in the back right corner. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I swung it with this because it's
Gary.
here.
Harold, here. Dennis?
Here.
Kevin? Here. Bob Greenell is excused absence. It's not on the agenda, but I'd like to make an agenda amendment to nominate Kevin Gary as Secretary of HITA.
I'll second.
Okay, Dennis seconds it. Roll call vote.
Okay, I don't even know which one is Jerry. Can someone tell me, please?
Gary?
Support?
Harold, support. Dennis?
Yes.
Okay, Kevin here? Yes.
I think Jerry's there. I'm guessing it's orange sleeves, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to open it right up to public comments. 3 minutes, please.
Mark Brashear, 739 North Channel. There's just a lot of areas to cover. I'll just hit a couple of them.
Is it Jerry all the way to the right?
Here to do what HITA was supposed to do, just look for alternative methods to get to the island. And they're not doing anything wrong, they're just doing what they were set up to do. Secondly, I find it interesting, like I said at the Township meeting, that a private company that never wanted any government involvement is now somehow going after government grant money. I could never do that when I was a businessman myself. The government would never give me money to put a new cooler in my store, let alone an engine boat that they don't own. You need to just be.
Is that Jerry in shorts? Or is that Paul?
Dialogue between Chancellor, Champion, Ferry, and HITA, and get a full understanding so you know exactly what is truth and what is just fabrications. And that's just about it for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Letty, 1765 South Channel, Harson's Island. First, Michigan law MCL 124.546, Section 2 clearly states transportation authority boards are required to meet at least once per quarter. It's right here, you can go or it online. Bylaw 2.11 states board members must attend 3 meetings per year. That's a HITA bylaw they're violating. A HITA chair has eliminated meetings and is solely responsible for bylaw violation. Again, that's a violation of 124.546, Section 2, because if you have bylaws, you gotta keep your bylaws, they're violating your bylaws. Bylaw 3.01, Section I states HITA must have open public comments at the end of every meeting. Can anyone check and tell me if there's open public comments at the end of this meeting?
No.
Because there was an open public comments at the end of the last meeting. That is, again, a violation of 124.546, Section 2, that says you have to adhere to your bylaws. The HITA board voted unanimously at the very first meeting. The very first motion of the very first meeting was that they should have quarterly meetings. Again, that's a violation of their meeting motion, and it's a violation of 124.546, Section 2, which clearly states you have to adhere to your meeting minutes. Lastly, 124.545, Section 9 and Section 10 says they are acting with low moral character by violating their bylaws and by violating their meeting minutes. In addition, they are violating their constitutional oath to uphold to the best of their ability. He has violated multiple bylaws, multiple meeting motions, and he can't be, he's not holding himself liable. So you need to wake up, you need to realize these people are not being held accountable, and you were charged a full, there's 2 ports in the ferry. That means there should have been 2 precincts in the village. Why should Harson's Island have to pay for ports that are on the mainland? That's called taxation without representation. That's also illegal. It's non-uniform taxation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I just have a couple of questions that I wish would get answered. Oh, Wendy, Harson's Island. The OHM Phase 1 study, can we get some answers to it? We've never gotten that, and the township is not, they're only doing Phase 2. They're not doing Phase 1. You guys did Phase 1, so can you do Phase 2 and give us some answers? And then I would like to know how the money got spent for the grant money, $250,000. Phase 1 was only $60,000. And also what Mark was talking about, all these laws are violated. They can also be in the recall when we recall the township board. So that, if you don't adhere to the bylaws, it'll be in the recall that this board gets disbanded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Can't do this. Hello? Hello? I think you can hear me.
No, it should work.
Pardon?
Push the button up on the top.
This one.
There, I think you did it.
Hello?
It's perfect because all the board members are on that anyway. It's very, very efficient.
Hello?
It's okay. I just wanted to say, coming here today, I think about our journey together, Harold. Gary, Dennis, Skip, Paul. I remember 6 years ago in 2019 when this place was filled with people who wanted change. That's when we all stepped up to serve, to lead the effort that we've all invested countless hours in. It's been an honor to serve with all of you. Your hard work and dedication to helping this island is admirable, and I appreciate your efforts. The critics don't realize the sacrifices that you all have made, but I do. I've learned many things from all of you about what could be possible. Unfortunately, it seems that big business and greed may stand in the way of progress for safer and more affordable access to this beautiful island that we call home. Thanks for taking the heat and the insults, just like I have. People tell lies about us, they criticize us, but you continued forward, believing in this mission of improvement. I think that Theodore Roosevelt said it best, and that's why I wanted this quote passed out to everyone as a reminder that all of us have only been trying to do the best for the community. Why have some of us been attacked so fiercely? What have we done to deserve it? I believe that's the question people need to ask themselves, or is it a distraction so that greed can rule and they can continue on doing the things that they're doing? Here's the quote from Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, but there's no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end to triumph with high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So this place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither have known victory nor defeat. So thank you for all your service.
Thank you.
If you didn't know, y'all stink. Okay.
Any more comments? Closing the agenda, public comments. Okay, we're going to review the previous meeting, the draft of the minutes. I don't have a problem with them. I looked them over. Gary, what do you think? Dennis? Kevin?
Looks good. Yeah, I guess the only comment I would make is at that meeting, I think it was Dennis that brought up, the idea of opening up some discussions with Champion Auto Ferry.
Isn't that here?
Is it?
Yeah, it's on the board comments.
Comments
Dennis
are-
Rance on the fresh out. I think we should attempt another reach out to Champion Ferry instead.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I was just at the first one.
Everything is in there.
Okay, good.
Okay, do we both accept
I
the
make
minutes?
a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second. Gary?
Yes.
Harold, yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yes.
Gary, give us the treasurer's report.
Okay, the treasury report for, as of September 6th. Since our last meeting in December 2004, we paid a number of invoices totaling $20,000, and these expenses were approved at the HITA board meeting on the 19th. We had $800 for the meal enterprise as for our yearly accounting services. We have director insurance from Nickel and Saff for $24.45, and we have 2 Freedom of Information Act to Peacock Law and ADIS Law for almost $17,000. We had videotaping for the month of December for $100, and I had requested $122 for a print cartridge and paper. Again, these invoices were paid in January, but they were approved in December. Since the end of January, since our last meeting, we've had no invoices and we've not received or paid anything. So as of August, our financials are still a work in progress, but the preliminary end of the month for the HITA bank balance is $1,343.80. The reason why August is still a work in progress is we've not received yet from the accounting firm our August financials, because those were just sent in last week.
All right, so what we need to do is we need to get all the financials, we need to get them over to the township so we can meet our obligations for the audits.
Okay.
And we're gonna send them into the state, so
Okay.
we meet that obligation. So me and you'll work on that, and we'll head them over to
Yeah.
the state.
Now, we have not completed an audit,
Right, we're gonna worry about that with the township.
and we do have a cost, though, estimated about $6,000, given our bank.
Yeah, we'll send it over to we'll send our information to the state, and we'll send our information to the township. And then we'll deal with that.
Okay, so that's all I have to report.
Okay. I make a motion to accept this treasury report. You gonna file it?
Second.
All right, Gary?
Approve.
Harold approve. Dennis?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Okay, so old business. So we had a meeting with Champion and Blue Water and us, and that meeting is in the box over there, so everybody can see what was going on and see about the meeting. The meeting was transcript, because everybody knew it was being taped, and I told them it was gonna be transcript. It's all there, so you guys can look it over when you want to see it. New business? There is none. We haven't really kind of talked to a couple of people, but I met with SEMCOG. They want me to appear over there, so I might meet with them, I might not. Say no. Board member comments? Gary? Dennis?
Yeah, well, since Kevin and Bob Reno were selected by the township for replacements, the association is supposed to recommend somebody that wants to be another fifth member on the board, and then it's got to be approved by township board.
Right.
So I would say that you should reach out to
The township board?
the St. Clair Flats Association to see if there's anybody out there that wants to be a board member, that they should submit their resume and whatnot, so we can, they can submit it to the township and make sure it's,
Right.
you have another board member.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'd like to bring up is the meeting between Blue Water, HITA, and Champion was obviously a learning experience for me. And hearing a little bit more and digging into a public-private partnership, there's really a lot of red tape and complexities to putting something like that together. I've got some emails from Dave McElroy, who's runs Blue Water Transit, and he kind of outlined a number of considerations, I guess, in kind of forming this public-private partnership. And essentially, in my opinion, the best option would be kind of a pass-through to get state money to help us all out, all of our us Islanders. But in reality, it's not as simple as that. It'd really be HITA running the ferry and contracting to Champion. And then you bring in all kinds of stipulations from MDOT and the Federal Transit Authority as far as how you contract. Are you sole sourcing? Are you bidding this? There's really a lot of stipulations. And, my personal belief is that would be a fantastic way to go to get state money to help all of the Islanders out to kind of, on the rate front, on other improvements. But in reality, once you bring the government into play, it gets very, very complex. So that's really the comment I wanted to make. And I've been kind of digging into this a little bit further to kind of understand that a little better.
Well, that's why I was glad you're at that meeting, because it's just not HITA. It's just not us. It's the state that is involved in it. It's Blue Water's involved in it. Everybody thinks it's just HITA. It is not just HITA. It's the whole FTA. I mean, when the money comes down, it comes from the government and it goes down to MDOT. MDOT doles the money out. And most of the money right now is going to rural areas. I mean, not rural areas, urban areas. It's not coming to rural areas because the MDOT has changed their jurisdictional way they want to spend their money. I mean, I've talked to MDOT and everything. Are you done with that?
Yeah, no, that's really all I wanted to mention, and I'm happy to share more details, from Dave. And again, he was not.
Yeah, we can put this on the website.
Specifying, all the specific details.
We can put it on the website.
There's an email that I think would be informative just for the public to read and see.
Well, I'm glad you were able to.
I think people need to look at the meeting with Jacob and us and Blue Water. I think that tells a lot of really what's going on. He could have formed any deal he wanted. According to this, according to what I'm reading, I mean, it didn't matter. We already agreed to be a pass-through at one point in time over here, and we agreed to let Blue Water even audit the books. I mean, it's all right here. If people want to read it, it's all right there. But anyways,
I have one comment. The thing that we just got from what Davis, Burkett, attorneys, basically saying that Champion does not want to work with us. So it's kind of like we're kind of stalemated as far as trying to do a partnership, which is what we tried to do back in December. Is what is the partnership? But it doesn't seem like there's any interest.
Well, there's no interest. No matter what we do, we'll always be a pass-through. We will always be that way, and it's always going to be that way. The problem with it is Blue Water is going to want the same things we want. The FTA is going to want the same things we want. That's where it all stems down. Like Kevin says, once you're in there, you're in there. They're going to have their fingers in every part of your business.
Yep.
And it's not us that is demanding that, is them, not us.
Right, it's just a stipulation of how that partnership would work.
Right.
So, I'll read this real quick for the sake of information. He talks about possibly getting funds and doing a sole source contract with Champion. It says the sole source strategy is only one of the strategies that may not be the only one. If you recall, we discussed at the meeting a sole source option that would cover all of Champion's costs and future costs tied to inflation, as well as a fair and reasonable profit. The profit would need to be negotiated by HITA and could be based upon the reasonable profit of other ferry providers. So this is MDOT and FTA stepping in saying, if you're going to get money, you're going to then kind of manage this contract because it's a government contract.
Right.
And there's a lot of stipulations around that. I'm not sure if anybody in here owned a private business, they would say, that's a great idea, let's go forward with that. So, pursuing that as an option, I think has a lot of complexities, but I really believe it's, at the beginning of this, I believe that was the best way to kind of, benefit all of the owners.
You're also saying that he would never have a bad year because he always gets paid, no matter what. You got no people, you got no bit, nothing. You still get paid. You still submit your cost. You still get paid.
Yeah,
you were there. You were at the same meeting I was.
Well, I guess the last thing I'll add, and if we can get to a point to build some respect and mutual trust between HITA and Champion, we may have an opportunity to pursue that. I just think, you know, I've been attending these meetings for a while, and I think there's been a lot of animosity, a lot of issues, so, you know.
I think it's Jerry in the
if you have two
shorts.
sides that aren't gonna play nice
I really
and stay
do.
nice, it's gonna be hard to ever put an agreement together.
Well, if I were champion, I would just take the 32 million and run and let the next group worry about it.
Okay, we'll go with that. But everybody got the Davis, I put the letter out there so everybody could see it. The Davis letter with pursuant to Champion Auto Ferry that was sent to Wayne. And I'm sorry, Skip, you're not on the board anymore.
I haven't been in a year and a
I
half.
know, but they still go to you, so
Good Lord, have you been paying attention? Jerry's girlfriend is Paul.
that's good. I'm good with it. So anyways, before I even wanted to put this on the agenda or anything, I had to call Addis Law to make sure this was legit. And I called Al, and Al sent me a letter to read to everybody. And I just got it yesterday. It's the 6th, and this is dated the 5th. I'll put this on the internet too. It says, your letter of September 2nd, 2025 to HITA has been forwarded to me because he didn't know any of this. It says, please be advised that Clay Township Board, without notifying me directly, has voted to terminate my relationship I have with them. Therefore, obviously, I will not be negotiating anything on behalf of Clay Township regarding Champions Auto Ferry. I want to be clear, I have no professional relationship with the legal entity of Clay Township. I note in your letter and suggestions that Addis Law Firm opened negotiations with Clay Township for the potential asset purchase of the ferry system. Negotiations were initiated by a letter sent by the client to all board members, expressing a willingness to sell the ferry system and outlining the price and demand. Therefore, I am charged by the township to begin primarily discussions with them to amend the possibility to purchase by the township or others. In reality, no monetary negotiations ever took place. To be clear, I never conveyed to you any monetary offer to you on behalf of Clay Township. I wish you all and client the best in reaching a sale agreement that benefits all parties, especially the residents of Clay Township. I didn't know nothing about this because it says, as you know, no, because I called Kevin and asked Kevin if he knew anything about it, and I called Dennis and he didn't know nothing about it. So that's why it didn't get on the agenda. So now my board member comment. You know, it's funny that I sit here and I hear people talk about meetings, and I hear people talk about this. And I remember in 2014 when the board was tried to be disbanded, and the board was fired by the previous administration, and they didn't, and people were appointed to the board. And I can tell you this, I know two people that were appointed to the board, and they were talking about it. They never held one meeting from 2014 till 2019 until the docks collapsed. And the previous administration said nothing about that. So we're sitting over here and we're trying to get things moving. This was since May 5th. When did you meet with Champion, Dennis?
It's all fun and games till the docks collapse.
You can't even remember.
No, it was last fall, I was at with,
Yes.
at the.
It would have been after December. It was
Yeah.
after
Oh, yeah.
December.
Okay, after
So it was
December.
February.
So we just found out in a letter stating that September 2nd. I mean, what's there to talk about? You want to talk about the weather? We can have a meeting and say the weather. It's like, there's nothing going on. Without that, there's nothing. So everybody's complaining we're not having meetings. Yeah, what happened to 2014 to 2019? Where's all that? I don't even have paperwork stating that HITA even existed from 2014 to 2019. So, I mean, you people want to nitpick at everything about this, but there's
Excuse
nothing.
me, can we do the
No,
OHM contract?
Okay, I recommend to adjourn. I'm not dealing with it.
Well, are we done with board member?
Yeah,
comments?
I'm done with my board member comment. I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do you want to do public? comments at the end, or?
No.
Did you take those, when you asked, as far as information about the
Fully channel?
in the phase one, the descriptions and stuff like that?
I think, Maureen's got notes she's taking.
Yeah, she's taking notes.
Okay. Because we'll get any questions that you asked, we'll get the answer, we'll get it out there, so.
Thank you.
So I'll second the motion to adjourn.
Gary?
Approve?
Harold, approve. Dennis?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yep.
Everybody please stand. Flags in the back right corner.
All right. That was just the video going back around. That's it. That's all. There's the HITA meeting. I told you it would be bad. But now when we have future board meetings and you hear them yapping about the HITA meetings, you know what you're dealing with. I don't know if they're all held at the Lions Club or if they have multiple venues. Maybe 1 week it's the Lions Club, the next week it's the VFW, and then of course they probably do one at the Wind Out Swingers Club. It's a bit of a hike from there, I would imagine, but probably doable. All right. There was no Jerry and Paul to kick around. What are we gonna do? But we had the usual stuff. It did, although it wasn't the board. It's the HITA group, whatever. I don't know. But we did have a little public comment. And the public comment, well, it was much like the board. You suck. You don't follow your own rules. And I mock your value system. That's the way it goes in Clay County. Every time. It doesn't really matter what particular organization holds the meeting. All right, that's what we have. I think there's a new meeting coming out soon, which will be the board. I'll tell you what, I'm invested. He wasn't here today, but I don't even know what he looks like. Wait, thank you. Who sent me the picture? You were in the chat. I got it because of you. I don't even know what they look like because the camera view is bad. The one good look I got. The one good look we got was the famous meeting where Paul and Jerry walked out, and the guy said it was his girlfriend, and I about died laughing. They come trudging out. They go right by the guy holding his phone, and then the guy holding his phone follows him out. I don't know what I called that. If you haven't seen that, that's the best. They're all good, but that's the best moment so far. That right there is top notch. It's a shorter one because I cut off the meeting. I just went for the blow up. Then what happened was Jerry and Paul were gone, and they had like 4 people, and then they held like an hour-long boring meeting where everything went okay because Jerry and Paul were there. It was no fun whatsoever. All right, that's what we got. We're up to speed. On Clay Township. I was going to visit Clay Township, but now I'm not sure. I'm sure I've stepped on toes. I really tried to stay out of the actual issues because I know nothing. But I'm sure I've offended everyone by now. Just because I start laughing because it's funny. So I think I need to steer clear of Clay Township. It's probably not safe for me there. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you all soon.